Alright, so here's a quick demonstration on how to use Google Presentations, which will be a very easy tool for you to use because most of you are very familiar with PowerPoint and it's a lot like it, the difference being it's web-based, so you can access it from home or school without worrying about software or transferring files. And most importantly, you can share it with your group members and all work on the same copy without emailing around different things or trying to coordinate a time where everyone can meet together. So it'll make life a lot easier. Make sure you always access our Google Apps off the Ralston Valley homepage, whether you're at school or at home. Go to this page first and then go to the quick links. And let's just make sure you go to the right Google. There's a public Google and then there's a Jeffco Google. And you always want to make sure that you're on the Jeffco Google Apps. And you'll log in with your ID number and then your 8-digit birthday. From the landing page, which is what we call this, you're not going to find any button that says presentations. What you really want to do is click on docs, and you can see in the description right here that presentations is mentioned. Presentations, spreadsheets, and documents are all housed in what is called docs. So here's all my things that are in my documents. I'm going to make a new one. One person in your group should do this, only one. One person needs to make the document and then they'll share that with everybody else. So I'll go to create new presentation. I get a very boring blank presentation, which is fine. We'll make it look a lot cooler. But to start with, give it a name and follow the naming convention that your teacher gives you. So it might be the last names of the group members, the block you're in, and the name of the assignment. Just use whatever information your teacher has given you and give this a name so that you're able to share it with other people and they know what it is. If you share something with them called Untitled, they're not going to have any idea which file you've sent them. Now go in and share this with all the members in your group. You don't need to know their ID numbers. All you need to do is start typing first or last names, one or the other. So if I wanted to share with my daughter, I could type her last name, Johnson, and I could see all the Johnsons in the district. Or I could just type my other daughter's first name. And I could bring up all the Sadies in the district and I can find the one that I want to share with. Now it's a good idea to notify them through email that you've shared with them. It's going to go to their Jeffco email. My daughters really don't need an email from me, so I'm going to uncheck that box. But I'm going to click share and save. And now their names are going to appear in the sharing box. And you can see that they have access to edit it. I could change that, but I want to make sure that they can edit it and not just view. So make sure everybody can edit, and then you just click save your changes and click done. Alright, so now just some of the basics for Google Presentation. You might want to at first pick a slide design that will fit for all your slides, a nice theme besides this plain one. So that's under Format, Presentation Settings, and you can just change the background to be a certain color, or you can choose one of their preset themes. So I'm just going to look through some of these themes and pick one that looks good to me. I like that one, so we'll use that. Now, every time I add a new slide, it's going to have this background. And to add a new slide, you can just see this plus here, and then you can pick the layout that you want. So it can be blank, or it can have a heading at the top, whatever you want it to do. Adding new slides is a piece of cake. So you can add in a bunch of slides. And you can put maybe the subject that's going to go on each slide and then have each person, so you know, in your group, one person has to do slides 1 and 2, one has to do slides 3 and 4, and so on and so forth. So that's how you add slides quickly. You can also just highlight a slide and use the X here to delete the current slide. So this is the fastest way to add or delete a slide. This one here, the one in the middle, is to duplicate it. So if I liked everything on this slide and I want it to be exactly the same, including the title, so I'll put a new title on this one over here. And I have this slide highlighted and click create a duplicate, I'll get an exact copy of that slide. Alright, some more slide basics. If I wanted to just change the background of this slide, I sure can do that. I can just do Format. I have just the second slide highlighted right now, and I can change just its background. Format, Presentation Settings, change background, and if I wanted just this slide to be black, I can do that. I'm not going to apply it to all my slides. I don't want them to all to be black. But you can see now over here I still have my theme background for one, and I can change these to have different backgrounds if I want to go through the trouble of doing all that. You can even use background images. And insert text, you just need text boxes. This one already has one. It says click to add content. And I can just type in this box. And I can change the color of that using the options up here. So you can change color and bold and italicize and change the size and all this. You can even highlight and center and indent and do bullets or numbering. There's all those basic word processing features here. The one thing you'll find that is missing that drives me crazy is spell check. So if you're going to type a lot of text on the slide, type it in Word or in Google Docs, anything that has a spell check in it, or one of the features of Firefox is if I misspell something in Firefox, it's going to underline it for me. So I really recommend that you use Firefox just so that you have that built-in spell check. Now it doesn't offer me suggestions, it just underlines words that I've spelled wrong and I have to fix it manually. So you can have as many text boxes as you want. I have a title text box, I have this text box, and I can go in here and do insert, and I can put in another text box. And I can move this to be wherever I want. I can drag it over here and it's going to have that click to add content message in there until I actually type in some content. So that's how you type in text. You probably want to put in pictures too, and the easiest way to do that again is if you're in Firefox there or Google Chrome. This will work. This will not work in Internet Explorer. So don't try it there. It's just not gonna work. So I really recommend you use Firefox if you haven't picked that up already. So I'm gonna go I have just a Google image search here for puppies, and I'll show you how easy it is to put in a picture that you found on the web. So you just pick whatever puppy you like. This guy looks really cute. And you need to click on the picture and drag. Do not let go of the mouse. This is a basic left click. You got to click and hold and not let go. So I'm going to click on the picture. You can see it kind of moves up here, and I go to the tab that has my assignment in it. And all of a sudden the screen switches over to my presentation. I still haven't let go of the mouse. I just drag the puppy down to where I want it to go and let go of the mouse. And the puppy is going to be imported and become part of my presentation, and I can move him around and I can resize him and do all this fun stuff. So that's the easiest way to get in a picture. If you're in Firefox, you just click and drag from one window of the internet to another. You can also go to the insert menu over here and insert an image. And you can go and browse to an image that you've already saved onto your computer, or if you just copy the address of the image from the web, you can type it in there as well. So a couple different ways to do images. Other things you might want to insert are tables. So you can insert a table and you just draw what you want it to look like. So maybe I want 3 columns by 2 rows. Draw the table, and now it's its own element also in here, and I can resize this table and I can move it around. So there is a nice feature just to put in tables as well. And just 2 final things on Google presentations, and you should have all of the tools down. So there's also a table menu up here. So I could insert a table from this menu, but from this one it's also handy if you wanted to delete a row or add a row. I'm just going to insert another row. And as long as I'm clicked inside the table, when I do that, I just have a whole nother row in here. I can use this fill bucket to fill the table so it has a different color background if I want to do that. The other thing I can think of that you might want to do is to put in hyperlinks, which would be a link in your presentation to a web page. And you can't hyperlink the picture. When I do, it's grayed out, but if I highlight some text, I can put in a link. So if I wanted to hyperlink this to a website, let's say I wanted to hyperlink this to the RV homepage, I just need to go to the RV homepage and copy its address, which is the HTTP. So I'm going to copy this, or whatever web page. Maybe you want to hyperlink to a full text article. I come back here, I'm going to highlight the text I want linked, and then I click the link button, and then I'm going to paste in the address. And now I'm going to click OK. So now if someone were to click on this, it will load in another window the address to the RV homepage. So those are the basics. You will know that I can't click save now. I can click save now to save my project manually, and then every time I make a change every few seconds it will save for me, and every time I try to exit it will also save for me. So again, you can divvy up the work, assign different group members different things. Everybody can put in their slides, and then one person can come over here later, or as a group you can rearrange them just by clicking and dragging and put them in the order that you want. So everybody can work at the same time, they can work at different times, they're all working in this, and all the work will show up here. If anything did go wrong, there's a great feature here called revision history. Right now I'm the only person who has edited this document, but it shows what each person did, and we can always go back and restore to a previous revision in case something got goofed up, and it's a nice way for each group member to demonstrate what all they've done. So I've done all these modifications, and if there are more than than just one user in this document, it would have everyone's name listed and we could see what everybody else had done. So we can make sure each group member is contributing fairly. So those are the basics for Google Presentation. If you have any questions or you wanted to do something that I didn't cover, please come see me in the library and we'll figure out if there is a way to do that.